bit of water.
You've had about 10 cups of tea.
It's unbelievable. This is the best game of football, like Frank said, just to reiterate that point, I've seen this season.
It's been a historical fixture, and I think today was a fitting match of that, wasn't it?
And just so people at home know what happens during a game of football like that, has Rio once sat down and stopped shouting at the window?
I'm surprised there's not a hole in the window behind him. He has been out. Great commentary.
I can't help it. I get caught up in it all, I'm sorry.
Great commentary, but most of it we can't share with you on the television, unfortunately. You were brave, though. Arsenal fans outside the window, and he didn't sit down once. Right, both of them absolutely brilliant today. It was hard to guess, really, a man of the match between those two. What's the atmosphere going to be like in the Arsenal dressing room, though, now? Because those two are going to go back into a proper party in the away dressing room. It's going to be very strange in that Arsenal dressing room.
Deflated. They've performed well, I felt, in the game, just that naivety. Away games coming up now, 2 away games, Southampton, West Ham. I'm concerned how this team are going to react. The Ozil Sanchez thing, I thought Ozil was outstanding today. You can't question their performance, but the way that De Gea managed to keep the ball out for Manchester United today, I mean, was it 15 saves?
Yeah, it was 14, the most on record. But the second half started so well for Arsenal, didn't it? I mean, thinking you were right back in it.
But you've got to score the goals at the right time. This was a perfect time after the team talk that came out, and this was a wonderful. I mean, this from Ramsey. For me, the way that he follows the ball, tries to get out of the way, he definitely meant it. Look at him trying to get out of the way for Lacazette to slot that home. Great imagination, great play from Arsenal, the ball into him as well. And Arsenal were right back in it, and it was an thrilling match at this point. They needed the next goal, and they just couldn't get it.
What do you think? Intentional from Aaron Ramsey?
Great touch. I think he meant it. There was nothing on his face to say he was upset with his touch, which you would have, I think, that position. And I think that's a difficult finish. To finish with his right foot, he would have had to have a touch and then score. And I think he knows he's close to the goalkeeper. So, unselfish, thoughtful, straight back, absolutely brilliant touch.
OK, let's talk about Jesse Lingard. He's only made 2 starts in the Premier League before today. He's given Jose Mourinho some serious food for thought this evening, hasn't he?
What it is with him is that he's not what you see nowadays. People want to see step overs, glitz and glamour. This kid ain't about that. This kid's about running, identifying where the space is to hurt the opposition, and he does it as good as anyone in the game for me. And when he does get in there, he's a fantastic finisher. Great save there from Czech. But what's great about him is he's as soon as the ball turns over, his first thought is, how can I hurt the opposition with and without the ball? And he will run and make this. You see it here. It's straight away the ball's turned over. Where can I run? His first looks forward. Look straight off Lukaku, and then again. Playing the ball at the right times, committing people, and here you just see he just knows where to be. Checks, knows the ball's going to come fast. I mean, he's not what kids go on Instagram to see at the moment because they don't appreciate what he does for a team. Runs off the ball without it, and he's a manager's dream because he can defend as well in terms of energy. But when they get the ball, he comes alive.
The manager's dream that's only started 2 league games then.
Yeah, well, he is sort of in and out. He'll start a lot more playing like that. I think you've got to talk about Pogba's contribution there. That's exactly what Pogba needs to do. Attributes, physically, gets up there quick, holds Keown off, who dived in, bad defending, but then the skill of the drag. Great play from both of them.
I think you see Lingard, with the goal he scored in midweek, it was nailed on that he had to play today. And to a player carrying out the orders of the manager, he did it brilliantly well. Running off the ball, he was the trigger to press. He knew when to break from it, and he's running with the ball there with great intelligence, a thoughtful play, and he lends it out wide, and then his movement in the box. I mean, that was as good. That's the best I've ever seen him play, I'd have to say.
But what's happened when he's been growing up? He's always been playing catch up. He's always been smaller than everyone else, so he's had to rely on his mind, his mentality. He's been able to play against people, to work out how to get advantages in a different way to others. He can't physically dominate anyone. He's stronger than he looks, but his game is sucking people out of position, playing, and then running into the space that they've left. And it is a great trait to have in the game.
David De Gea. Wow.
I don't care. I said it so much. I was screaming in here. How is he making some of these saves? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's breathtaking at times.
He was like a volleyball player in there, wasn't he, keeping everything out. He's remarkable. I mean, the speed he has.
Yeah.
You know, he's cat-like in the goal. You just float. Look at this. Makes everything look really easy. He's just waiting for that opportunity. That's off his own player. That's great goalkeeping.
But even there, it's pushing the ball a lot of the time into the right areas, away from the goal, to the sides of the goal. Here again, away from the Arsenal.
Putting doubt in the striker's mind, because they know they have to be absolutely brilliant to beat him. So you maybe have another touch to try and be more clinical.
Would you go into a game thinking that about?
Off the back of that performance, you would think, well, I won't take a long shot on because I'm not going to beat him, and then in the box as well, you'd maybe have the extra second which can make the shot go away.
Is there an element though that the City players that I'm sure have been watching this evening are sitting there thinking, you watch next week, I'll get the better of him, I'll show people how good I am. Doesn't he inspire the strikers to just do that a little bit more?
You know, I think Guardiola might be watching to think it's perfect, because if they were lulled into a false sense of security in their performances, they've seen that somebody's challenging, and he'd be thinking, okay, because that's the only thing that maybe can beat City, because they could come complacent, and they've shown already that there is a threat there. They're at home as well.
What was big about this game and great about this result, Manchester United came to this game knowing they had to win. They couldn't come here and settle for a draw. Down the years, even my teams have coming out of here with a draw after a game, tried to win it, but if you get a draw, happy. But here they had to win to maintain that pressure on the City team, who just continue to win. And it's been barren away from home for United this season against the top six. 22 goals were scored in the Premier League today, 4 of them here, but without question, this was not just the game of the day, this has been the game of the season so far, and at the centre of it was Andre Mariner. Let's go to Graham Poll. Before we talk about specific incidents, Graham, Andre Mariner's performance today at the very centre of this melting pot in the Emirates, what did you make of it?
Well, he was cool, calm and collected, no question. He got virtually every decision right, which was good. He was ably assisted by 2 very good assistants. There were some really close calls on the offside, and you know, you have to congratulate them on their overall performance, even if there were 1 or 2 small errors.
Yeah, I guess you're talking about the penalty incidents towards the end there. Let's have a look at the 2 incidents, one that got a red and one that didn't. First of all, the red card for Paul Pogba, the correct decision.
Oh, absolutely the correct decision, as we can see. And Andre's in a very good position here to see this, very close to it, has a pretty clear view. Ramsey's just in the way, but the angle we've got, he can see clearly. And you can see from this, you can't question a red card on that. Even the second leg gets him. I'm not sure that one's deliberate, but he's overstretched, and that's a horrible challenge. Clear red card, and very calmly dealt with by Mariner.
Stay there, Graham, because there's something that we noticed as well, Frank, is that just a couple of minutes before that, there was quite a heated exchange between Paul and Jose on the touchline, wasn't there? Could that have still been playing on his mind, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was very heated. And I'm of the thinking, if your manager gives you a message in the game, you accept it as a player. You can talk about it after the game. I don't think you need to throw arms as he does here. Considering that the red card comes a couple of minutes afterwards, as you say, I think he got emotional. I think he's slightly lost his head. It wasn't a tackle he needed to go into. You're protecting a 3-1 lead. You understand the importance of the game, and I think it's affected him on his approach to the tackle.
Yeah, I think it was frustrations tactically. They were talking, he was arguing with the coach tactically, Mourinho in the background there. And like Frank says, them type of things can just go into the next phase of the game, and that's what seems to... I think when he sees that, because he was clapping his hands on the way off, like in disbelief almost, I think when he sees that and he watches it in slow-mo after, he'd understand that the referee... he forced him into that decision.
One of Jose's frustrations, Graham, was that Keown didn't see red either. We just heard from him in the post-match interview. He obviously thinks that this should have been a different outcome. Can you talk us through this incident as well with Lukaku?
Yeah, I can. It's a foul, no question. There's definitely a foul there. But the law states that you must be heading towards goal. Not towards the goal line, but towards the goal. He clearly isn't. You can see from any angle you want to see, he's not heading towards goal, so it's not an obvious goal scoring opportunity denied.
Where's he going?
And that's why it's a yellow card. He's heading down towards the goal line, but not towards the goal.
Explain the difference.
Law. That's law.
If he gets up and gets away from him there, Keown's not catching him.
I think Keown isn't, but I think Bellerin is.
Yeah.
Graham, is it distance to the goal then? Because if that happens in the box and he takes it to the side, he's still going to get his shot away. Is it distance as well? How far away is it?
It's a combination. I mean, the 2 words you're looking for are clear and obvious. And if there's any doubt in your mind, you go yellow. And I think that's what Andre's done. Big pressure on him. Been easy to go give a red to balance things off, level them up.
Look,
and that's why I admire him not doing it. It's not a red card, as I say. The key is, whether we like it or not, you've got to be heading towards goal. And Lukaku isn't.
I think Bellerin there is in a really good position to cover. And so maybe it's a tongue-in-cheek comment from Mourinho. Yes, it's a foul, and it was a good battle. And I thought Lukaku should be doing more of that, in all honesty. But Bellerin is there, so he's not the last defender, and he's running away from the goal. So I think it's just about got that right, the referee.
OK. As ever, Graham, we seem to have these conversations about referees after these big games. But there you go. Thank you very much. And we'll see you for Premier League tonight, won't we? We're going to talk about Keown and Vieira in the tunnel. Is that right?
Oh, yes, we are. It was a big highlight for me in my career. So
I bet it was. I bet it was. Thank you very much.
Just the start of the game where they weren't up for the fight. They weren't at boiling. And you could say that's to do with preparation and their mindset, because the ability was there, and it's really they've lost the game in the first 11 minutes. And it's really down to the way that they were pressed by Manchester United. I thought they did this brilliantly well in the opening exchanges of the game, but they were ruthless as well. Pogba there is so composed, the way that he drags in defenders. It's a scruffy finish, but I thought they deserved that with the intention they showed. And Lingard, we talked about his press, and he was the trigger, and he did this absolutely brilliantly.
I think Lukaku has to take huge credit in this game. 2 of the goals he's played major roles in as well. He hasn't scored today, and everyone goes on about that, but today he played his role in his part in another way. And I think in the picture there, Arsene Wenger, I think he didn't lose this game today. He set his team out, they created chance after chance, put the keeper under immense pressure, but individual errors cost his team. They costed his team. Mustafi, Koscielny. I mean, if that happens, it's taken his game plan right out of his hands.
That's the thing in these big games. No matter how well you push and you play, a goalkeeper's had a great game, but if you defend and make them simple mistakes, you will not win these type of games.
And to play that